this was going to happen sooner or later on this channel. Me talking about Star Wars. Happy May the 4th, everyone. Don't worry, I'm still hard at work on my next new review, but I just wanted to celebrate May the 4th by talking about what might be one of the most underrated versions of Star Wars. Before we dive into the bulk of this video, a quick history lesson is required for those who are unaware. A long time ago, in a galaxy not so far away, there was the release of a third entry in the Star Wars franchise. Technically it was the sixth, but, entitled Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. The film was met with middling reviews, and it was seen as just another entry into the Star Wars franchise, and was the final release in the critically panned prequel trilogy. However, through backwater channels, there were bootleggers in China who sought to make a profit off the release of the film by buying and reselling a copy of the film with horribly mistranslated subtitles. Later, in 2016, a group of friends found out about the bootleg and found it to be absolutely hilarious, and set out to dub the film in their voices. And that's the story of how Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith became Star Wars The Third Gather's Backstroke of the West. All caught up? Good. Because now it's time to discuss the hidden masterpiece that is Backstroke of the West. First of all, if you're planning on watching this movie, I highly recommend you watch Revenge of the Sith first. You don't need to see it to watch Backstroke, but it does improve the experience. This film is amazing. In fact, I think it's better than the original, with absolute nonsense dialogue and random subject matter thrown in, such as a good elephant and something to do with the Presbyterian Church. This is not my first time watching this movie. Far from it. This is more like my fifth or sixth time watching the whole thing. When you watch this movie for the first time, you will not understand it at all. It'll just seem like random nonsense. But when you start to watch this movie enough, then something starts to happen. You start to understand the movie. You realize that certain words relate to things from the original, and words that are repeated which help you understand it more. For example, Allah Gold is Anakin Skywalker, Space General is General Grievous, Hopeless Situation Warrior is Jedi Knight, etc. Sometimes I even found myself watching the movie normally and understanding every bit of it. It's a lot like listening to Spanish in your sleep and subconsciously learning a new language. Only this time, it's a language that's made up of complete gibberish. Characters will end sentences abruptly with the or of, and the speed at which characters talk is all over the place, due to the dubbers having to keep up with the speed of the subtitles. Which brings me to the next topic I wish to discuss, which is the dubbing. The dubbing is fantastic. Every actor does a near perfect impression of the characters, which adds to the comedy of the movie. Well, everyone except Yoda, which sounds like they got a 90-year-old woman with asthma to voice over.
You must ruin the West.
Even minor characters like battle droids and Count Dooku, who have very little screen time, get premium treatment when it comes to their voice performances. The acting also adds a great deal to the comedy with the way that certain lines are delivered. There's also a weird thing where this version of the movie features not one, not two, but 4 F-bombs. And what's even funnier is that all of them come from Obi-Wan. Maybe it has something to do with Ewan McGregor's accent, or the bootleggers misheard some other word, but I don't really understand what the F-bombs could have translated to. The only downside this movie has is that the last 20 minutes or so, there is very little dialogue, which leads to long stretches of you just watching regular old Revenge of the Sith. But overall, this doesn't detract from my enjoyment of the movie. In summary, Backstroke of the West is a movie that's a real treat for any fan of Star Wars. It's honestly incredible that this movie exists at all. There are so many contributing factors that made this movie what it is, and I wouldn't have it any other way. If you're interested in watching it for yourself, then you can find a link to it in the description. It's here on YouTube for free, and I would highly recommend you check it out for yourself if you're interested. Or, if you don't feel like watching the full movie, there's also a compilation in the description of the best moments. That's all I got for now. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and hit that bell icon to be notified for whenever I make a new video. The next review should be Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. So if you're interested in that, or interested in supporting the channel more, then go check out some other videos on this channel. Alright, that's it. Bye.